party people. So if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that a big part of my small business is making custom dog orders. So that's either making them out of felt or painting them on a wood slice. I find that certain dogs lend themselves to either one of these styles. So for example, short haired dogs tend to be easier to make out of felt, whereas fluffy dogs are easier to paint. In this video, I am going to challenge myself to make the same dog 3 different ways. This is the dog I will be making, and I will be making it out of felt, painting it on a wood slice, and I'm going to try making a 3D model of its face, which is something I've never done before, so good luck me. Okay, let's get started. Okay, to make a custom dog face, I always start by doing a template. So I will roughly draw the dog out and then start to kind of figure out what the layers of felt are going to be. I try and get it like as symmetrical as I can, unless the dog has like big differences like between ears or whatever. But in this case it doesn't, so I've just gone with the ear that I like the best and added more detail to that one, because I will just cut that one out twice to do both ears. So I'm thinking about what shapes I need to add in to build up the face. When it's like a high contrast different coloured dog, this is easier. But as you would have seen from the photo, this is mostly a black dog. So I've added all these bits in which will be black, but they'll add kind of a little bit more detail when they're all stitched on. I try and keep everything in proportion with the picture except for the eyes. I will always do the eyes bigger because I just think it looks better. I used to try and do the eyes a bit more realistically, but it just doesn't look right. So the eyes won't necessarily be this size. I might make them a bit bigger. So once the drawing looks like this, then I trace around all the individual elements, which are then cut out to be the template pieces. So I have something like this. I tend to label each piece with the name of the dog. So this is Bo. And then I might put the colour that it needs to be cut out or what it is. So this bit will be Bo black, and this one I've got Bo nose. So the next thing I need to do is cut this out. So they're all cut out, and then I have the face cut out as well. When I'm sewing the pieces on, I refer back to this to make sure I've got the placement right. So next I need to go and pick out what felt I'm going to use. Okay, so I've cut out all the pieces and it should look something like this. I haven't done the eyes yet, I tend to save that for last. So yeah, now it's just a case of sewing on all the different layers. So I've picked out all my matching sewing thread. Again, this was a pretty easy one because there aren't that many different colours. So the sewing is usually the easiest part. Making the pattern is the tricky bit. It's just a case of making sure the layers go on in the right order and in the right position. So sometimes I'll refer back to the pattern to make sure the pieces are lined up correctly. Once all the facial features are sewn on, I then sew the front to the back, adding the ears in between. I also add a hanging ribbon to the top, and when I get most of the way round, I add stuffing to the inside and close it up. Now, when I'm doing the eyes for my felt dogs, I have these circle templates. So I cut them out of card on my Cricut. I probably need to cut a new set because these are getting a bit old. So I have numbered them. So I have 1 to 13, but I don't think they're all here at the moment. Another reason why I need to cut a new set. And they're all in decreasing size. And it will usually be that, you know, I'll have the right size to do the eyes. So when I'm making my standard felt dogs, I usually just have one white circle and then with a smaller black circle on top. But when I'm doing a custom dog, I tend to add in like the coloured pupil, so I'll have an extra layer, which is usually brown. So I think I'm gonna go for, so I think we'll go 7 for the white, 8 for the brown, and then we'll go 13 for the black. So I'm just gonna cut those out now. So that is all the sewing done, and there's just one little detail to add. So these lighter bits on the side, I just want to make them look a bit more like blended in. So that's where I grab a Sharpie and just colour in the edges. So I'm pretty happy with that one. It is always difficult with black dogs to see the detail. Like in person I can see all the different bits. Hopefully it's showing up on camera. I did use a slightly different black for the nose, so hopefully that is standing out. So these are the wood slices that I use. I just buy them in a big box from Amazon, and they have the holes already put in. I have previously bought them from eBay as well, so there's a few different places you can get them. So I've already drawn out the outline of the dog and painted that using a primer and undercoat 2-in-1, and then I've roughly sketched out the details. If I'm painting a dog that is kind of the same colour as this lighter golden wood, then I will just paint the whole of this section white, so then the dog will be on a white background, because otherwise it wouldn't show up very well. But because this is a black dog, this will be fine. So the paints I'm going to use are acrylic paints, and I'm ready to get started. I start by painting the main areas of colour and then come back and do the detail afterwards. I'll be honest and say that there is usually a period of painting where it looks like it's just not going to work and it's not looking like the dog, and I've actually given up with a few paintings because this period has gone on for too long. But luckily, once I brought out the tiny brush, it all started to come together. I'm honestly so impressed with how this turned out. I think this might be one of my best ones. Getting that tiny brush out for all the detail is definitely the way to go. So the third way that I'm going to try and make this dog is in 3D using Sculpey. Now, I used to use Sculpey all the time, not so much in recent years, so I'm just realising that this Sculpey might not actually be soft enough, but we'll see. Hopefully we can make something with it. So here we go. Having never done this before, I was definitely making it up as I went along. Unlike making a 2D representation, I had to kind of guess certain elements, like the photo I was working from couldn't tell me exactly how far the nose stuck out, so I had to make that up myself. Also, another thing that made this difficult is that the whole time I was sculpting it, it just didn't look like the dog, because the dog is black and this clay is white, and that was kind of throwing me off. So I was just hoping that once I started painting it, it would look more like the dog. Okay, so my camera died for the last bit, but basically what I did was add some more detail to the furry ears. I tried to make the eyes bigger. I think that's what was making it look a bit odd. I can't get them exactly smooth though. I'm hoping maybe I can just fix that with the paint or the glue or something. I added some more texture all over the face, just using one of these. I did the same with the nose. So I just kind of added loads of little dimples. And yeah, I think that's the best I'm gonna get. I'm hoping that painting it is gonna be what, you know, really makes it look like the actual dog. So now I need to go and put this in the oven. I started painting the dog by covering most of it in a base layer of black, which I could add details on top of. I wasn't sure how many highlights I should add, like the white on the top of the nose where the light catches it, or the shiny fur on the ears, because the light will naturally highlight parts of the model because it's 3D, so I didn't know if I had to add this on myself. So I went back and forth, adding white, then painting black on top, then adding white again. Making this model was definitely a challenge. So I actually love this. I think the whole time I was making it, I really wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, but I quite like this. Now I don't think it looks exactly like the dog it was trying to be, but it does look like a dog, so I'll take that. I think it would look really good kind of mounted on like a wooden plaque, but I don't have anything like that to show you, so you'll just have to imagine. What do you guys think? Is this something that I should add to my custom dog repertoire? So there we go. And now for the shameless plug. If you are interested in having your dog made in any of these styles, then let me know. And it doesn't have to be a dog. I can do cats, I've done horses, I've done hamsters, I'm currently working on some felt guinea pigs. So do get in touch, find me on Instagram, leave me a comment, check out my website, and they do make great Christmas presents. Just saying. Thanks for watching, bye!